Hello and welcome back to Kivy School. Today we're going to learn how to set a Kivy icon and set a Kivy icon in PyInstaller. Now this first example is going to be an example hello world with a Discord icon set. It's going to be midpoint.py. Then here we have a hello world example, and then I will show you that you use self.icon pointing to the icon image in build definition. So right here in midpoint.py, this is the same hello world that we've been using. And the only thing that's important is this line right here. Self.icon equals the icon location. Okay, now I'm just getting away with saying the file name because the icon is in the same spot as the main.py, but if it's in a different spot, you would have to specify it. So we'll do python midpoint.py, and very easily you will see that, okay, this Kivy app has the Discord icon here, it has the Discord icon here, right? Pretty sick. And I can even show you like this, turn it off, let's run it again. It will be the Kivy icon, right? That's just a one-line fix. That's how you set the icon. But that's not the real important part. The real important part is going to be part 2, where we will learn how to set the Kivy icon in PyInstaller. That's really important. Now, the steps are install PyInstaller if you haven't already. Go to step 3 in Kivy School PyInstaller instructions, and it's going to be python-m PyInstaller one file name hello world icon main.py. So we're going to go to Kivy School. Then it says go to step 3. So step 3 is choose between one file or one directory. I'm choosing one file because it's a bit more work than one directory. And then here it says enter your virtual environment. We did that. Inside of your virtual environment, you do like this. This is going to be the name of your spec file. So it's instead of hello world, I said hello world icon right here. And then main.py, which is the py file, that is your main.py, right? It's the one that you're running. So here, it's going to be main.py, and then run it. It will build the preliminary build, plus it will create, for our case, hello world icon.spec. So it's going to be right here, creates hello world icon.spec. And then in the distribution folder, it has already created midpoint.exe, and also hello world icon.exe. And you can see right here, pretty cool, right? Change the icon. Okay, so now that's done. Let's keep going. So we're still setting the icon from PyInstaller, but keep in mind we're starting with a midpoint.py. So executable works, but the icon is not set. Now we have to edit the spec file to add the icon. You're going to add this line to the executable at the end before the last parenthesis. Icon equals this, and then add the icon to the data. I will show you in the spec file right here. You add this line right here, icon 8, Discord 48, right? You also add it to the data. So why am I adding this line in particular? Why am I adding the icons to the data? So why did I add the icon to the data line? This is because PyInstaller uses a temp folder called mapass for one file application. So here's the pro. Users just double click your file to start your app. And here's the con. Startup time is a bit longer because PyInstaller must copy to a mapass folder every time you want to run. So that's a little bit of a cost-benefit analysis. If you would like a one-file executable, that is the cost for it. I don't think it's that much, especially on the desktop. But if you don't like it, you can always use one folder and just tell the user, okay, you got to look for main.py.exe or whatever in order to run your app. So just letting you know. Now we're going to add the icon to the datas, and then here it's icons 8 discord 48.png, and then use the double quotes instead of single quotes because in my test single quote did not work to transfer the icon to the PyInstaller temp folder. It didn't work for me. If it works for you, great. Please make a comment in the comment section down below how you got it to work. And then note, this adds the icon to the base folder of the sys mapass folder. If you want more organization, you should place it in another folder. So this places the icons folder in a resources folder in sys mapass. So double quotes, icons 8, discord 48, png, double quotes, resources, then double slash. And then you need a double slash because in Windows, you need an escape character, which is this slash for a single slash. So this icon here will be sent to the resources folder in the sys mapass folder. And it will be created every time on startup of your PyInstaller app. This still works, but check your current working directory, your CWD. This is because PyInstaller uses the current working directory to find files. If you build from a current working directory, make sure to keep building from the same spot. You can check your current working directory from the command prompt using Python import os.get current working directory. And this is important because here, as you can see, I just have a raw file. I have not said, C files user. Wow, it's just a raw file. This is because in my current working directory of this 2024 8.3 folder, icon is already here, so it will be found. But if I put it somewhere in like the dist folder, in a build folder, in a resources folder, it's not in the current working directory. You gotta specify it. So let's look at this. Let's say Python import os.get current working directory. And it will say my current working directory is this, C users, VBox user, desktop, etc. And anything in this folder 2024 A3 is going to be found. But if I put it into resources folder, it will not be found, and I have to specify it. I'll have to go like resources like this. But just letting you know, current working directory really matters for PyInstaller. So here, progress is saved as midpoint.py. Then we're not done yet. You also need to tell Kivy itself to check if it's frozen by PyInstaller, then find the icon. You can check if you're running as a standalone exe by using if hasattr sys and then mapath. Now this only works for PyInstaller because this is how PyInstaller freezes things. It will set a mapath attribute to sys. If you're using something like autopy to exe, Nuitica, or something else. But anyways, if you use the other installers, this is not going to work. This is not going to work because they're not guaranteed to use mapath. PyInstaller is the only one that I know for sure that sets the mapath folder. Otherwise, you have to check their documentation on how you would know if you're running as a standalone executable. Let's go to main.py. As you can see here, I set on build if hasattr sys comma underscore mapath. You set the icon path like this, and then self icon equals mapath icon path. Otherwise, you're not frozen. You just set self icon equals icon state, right? That's pretty much it. It's pretty quick. So what does this line mean? String pathlib path sysmapath slash icons8 discord png. So from the beginning, pathlib path sysmapath. This gets you the folder for mapath, right? And this slash right here is how to combine paths in pathlib. And then icons8 discord 848 is just the name of the icon. And at the end, it's going to be the path to mapath slash icons8 discord 48. And it's really good to use pathlib because this is cross-platform. You don't have to care if it's a / or a /, especially when you're going from Windows to Linux to Mac. So if you use pathlib, you'll be fine. Okay, and as you can see right here, Windows uses the backslashes like this. And then because this is an escape character, in Python you'd actually have to double it. That way it only appears as a /, right? So if you hard-coded it, path would be something like this, using the backslashes. But on Linux and on Mac, they use these / like this. And because you hard-coded this file path, it's going to crash and cry and complain, and PyInstaller will just not compile. Or worse, it will compile, and then when you turn on the app will crash, and then cry and complain. You won't know what's going on. This is the reason why we use pathlib. You can also use os.path too, but pathlib is the newer one. And this is why you shouldn't hard-code things, especially like path locations. This is because this will only work on Windows. This will work on Linux and Mac. And just don't suffer. Just use pathlib path and then combine path elements with using the /. So that's why we are using pathlib. Now that we know our icon location in the temp folder, now that in our dev mode, we can find the file location of our icon. Now let's run the command with the fixed spec file. It's going to be python-m, PyInstaller, your spec file, and then I like doing this just so I don't have to think about it, --clean. You don't have to do it, just deletes the old compilation files. Then here are the two fixes you must have in the spec file. Set icon and add the icon in the data's line. So I'm going to show you the fixes right here. Data's like this. So you send the icon to the top level of the mapath folder, and then you set the icon right here of the executable itself using icon equals. Fairly simple, right? Also, because we're in the same current working directory, you don't need to specify where the location is. If it was in the resources folder, you would go like resources, something like this, or even use, os.path.join, or, pathlib / like this. Either way would work. Okay. So a pathlib, os.get cwd / icons. It would look something like this. Or os.path.join, os.get cwd, and then icons 8. So it would look something like this if you were to use pathlib, or if you were to use a pathlib join instead of hard coding an icon. Actually, you'd also say resources, and here you would just do like / sources. So it would look something like this. Right? But because it's in the top level, I don't have to do anything special or fancy. I can just say the icon name. Okay, and then here's another hint. So for like maybe 30 minutes, it was bugging out, and I couldn't figure out how to solve it. How I debugged was I used a try except on the Kivy code. You try running the Kivy app, my app.run, or exception is E, import traceback, print the full exception, and then import time. Now, importing the time is really important because when you're running a PyInstaller executable, if your Kivy loop has closed, nothing is running anymore, and the window will instantly exit. But because I have the import exception as E, you will see the traceback and the error, and you also have enough time to look at it. So this is how I debug the code. You know what? Let me actually show you why this is important. I'll be back. Okay, so hello, welcome back. Now here's an example, this debug example of why I use this try except block. This is because you will see that the error I made was not turning this pathlib into a string. Because, let me see if I can move. Because self icon only takes a string, and that string is the path of your icon. And as you can see right there, if you go like this, look at the try except block, it says okay, we'll import traceback, right? Here's the error, right? My app icon only accepts string. So that's good, we know the error. But now look at this, it's going to be 10 seconds right here until it exits. If I did not put this time sleep of 10 seconds, it will just run, print the exception for like 1 nanosecond, and then close. It's not fun having to like print screen or like screen record. Don't do that. Don't do extra work. Just do a try except block, add some time, and then look at the error, right? That's a lot safer, simpler, easier, and less stressful. So that's why I use this try except block. That's how I debug. And then let's keep going. So what was the fix? Reminder that pathlib paths are not strings. So to change a pathlib path to a string, you just put a string around it, right? Pretty simple and easy. Actually, I need to undo that change as well. Okay. And then now it works. Both the console and the Kivy app itself have a custom icon. Actually, there's one thing I forgot to mention, which was that you can also see the error in the old example. Do you see here? Icon is set. On this Kivy app, icon is not set, right? Icon is not, and it's bugging out. But here, the one that works, icon is set here, icon is set here, icon is also set on the Kivy code, right? So pretty neat. And then see here, set Kivy icon PyInstaller. Now it works. Both the console and the Kivy app itself have a custom icon. And as a recap, you can set the icon in development using self icon equals path icon. You can also set the icon in PyInstaller. Set the icon in the executable. You update Kivy to check for maypass, check for sys maypass, and send the icon to maypass folder with data, right? And again, I will show you the 3 line changes here, here, and here, right? Well, not really 3 lines, but there's 3 changes. Okay, so this has been Kivy School. Now you know how to set your icon in PyInstaller, how to set your icon in dev mode. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.